We've notified your subscribers that you're live. Yep. And the cool thing about Substack is people just start to random people will trickle in and we might see some people who we've never met before through it. So, and that's the idea.
I like it. It's a cool platform. It reminds me of Tumblr a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. It's definitely, it feels a little bit more grounded or something. It's more about the art and focusing on that. But all right, Adam, you want to go ahead and stuff?
Yes, it is lovely to be live with these three wonderful humans and those who are able to join or watch afterwards. My name is Adam Peters. I'm here with my friend Kelly and my new friends Kim and Rachel. And we're bringing Kim and Rachel on because I had the pleasure of meeting them this summer. I went to Michigan because I live in Florida and I try to get out of the hellscape that it turns into in the summer. But it was also a very special visit for me because I was kind of on a griefcation. I lost my sister this year and I wanted to get away and reset. And lo and behold, I'm in northern Michigan. It is a very sparsely populated place in some areas. And I happened to be out in Maple City, wanted a cup of coffee, searched for something that was nearby. I ended up parking outside of the Folded Leaf and immediately I was drawn to it. There was some cool stuff on the windows. I was like, that looks like a bookstore. I have a spidey sense for bookstores because I love books so much. I walk in and I think, Kim, you were working and I just stopped. I walked in and just stopped and looked around and was like, oh my God, I love this place because there was so much intention. It's beautifully, you can see the rich green walls behind. There's art on the walls. There's beautifully curated bookshelves. There's a piano. And I'm like, what's this space about? How long have you been here? I started giving Kim the third degree and come to find out they've only been there for a couple months. They just started. And so I'm like, every time I come back for the summer, I want this to be here. How can I support you? I want to know more about you. So we just ended up collaborating a little bit this summer. I read tarot cards for fun. I offered to do it to, bring people in, just something interesting that might draw folks in. And they were lovely and accommodated that. And then I got to listen to some live music because they are just experts at getting cool, interesting people in the store to draw them in. So in addition to that, I started learning more about their story, which is so compelling, and they're the best people to tell it. So here we are having them on so we can have this conversation about community spaces.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. We're excited to talk about everything we've got going on at the Folded Leaf and how we kind of extremely randomly came to be here through
not planned whatsoever.
Not planned, zero plan, absolutely no plan. I have never worked in retail. I have never run a business. I've managed a couple things here and there, but never the whole thing. And now we're doing the thing. We're doing it. It's here.
Yeah. Flying by the seat of our pants
for real
as we go.
Yeah.
Y'all just opened what, three months ago, was it?
We opened April 26th, which is Independent Bookstore Day, and also this one's birthday. So it was a huge celebration. We had so much fun. It was overwhelming, in all the ways.
All the ways.
I think in every way it was overwhelming, but mostly in the best possible way. Just the way the community came out.
Yeah. The response from the community so far has just been beyond what we imagined it could be. And that's, I think, the best feeling. That's the best thing out of everything is the response by the community.
Yeah.
In that third place that we were kind of talking about Yeah,
it's we get the comment a lot where people walk in and they wander around a bit and they come up to the counter and they go, I feel like I just walked into my living room. I feel like I just walked in and it's just so comfortable and cozy. And that was really what we were going for.
Yeah.
We really wanted it to feel like you were coming home. You walk through the door and you're like, oh, I don't have to be anybody else. I can just be myself. I can fully embrace who and where and when I am in this one space. And so far it's gone amazingly well. We've had a few haters here and there, but
Everyone's gonna hate whatever you're in, whatever you're doing. There's gonna be people that don't like it.
yeah,
So,
I mean, but again, like even the hate that we got, the way the community was like, yeah, no,
rallied against.
they
Shut
like
right down.
came out of the gate. They were hot and bothered. Um, so I mean, we didn't really even have to do anything, and they were all just like, no, 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 not today.
They wrap
Um,
around you. Amazing.
yeah,
What can you give us like a I don't know. Are you in the store? I'm guessing you're in the store right now, right?
we are.
I don't
Yep.
know if you can like show us the store or kind of
Sure.
Yeah,
about it because I've
this is the good stuff right here.
Okay. To be fair, we are putting a few things together, so it's not exactly like put together right now.
That's
but
okay. No perfection.
Hard rack in progress.
This is our Substack Live.
Understand?
Peter says 4. Yes.
So this is our stage. There's the piano. We've got a really lovely fireplace up there. And just a cozy spot to sit. But this is where all of our artists perform. So really great little space. And then we have these beautiful bookshelves that my really good friend built for us. Just incredible shelves. So we're about 85% used books in here. So this shelf and this table are brand new print books. So these are like from the publishers, but everything else in here is used. And that's our card rack we're putting together. Don't mind construction. All of those books over here are used books. And we actually had such an outpouring of donations that we had to get a 12 by 20 storage unit,
Amazing.
which is almost full. So, yeah, we actually, if we come over here, I want to show you really quick. Adam gave us this happiness sign.
Yes.
And we love it. We love having it up.
Love it. And that's the store name, The Folded Leaf.
Yes. So this was Adam's view when he came in, minus, the open flag. But we just are having so much fun putting it all together. And like all of these over here, this is all used books donated by the community. So just a wild outpouring of love. And then these are actually minus that one. These are Kim's pieces.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
she is super talented.
Oh my God. I love that top one so much. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to give her a follow, she's on Instagram at Moss and Pine Designs.
Moss.
But she also does these cute little magnets. But we have other local artists in here too, like this piece here. If you can see it, it is an old photograph, and then it's also got embroidery on it. So really neat stuff and like locally made things. So we are just so thrilled to be in this space, and we get comments all the time on these two pieces of furniture because they are so unique and so beautiful. And they were actually donated to us by a local couple. And that in itself is amazing. But the furniture is actually original to the Northport train station,
Okay.
which is the farthest point north in Leelanau County.
That's cool.
Yeah, really neat. But then this is our favorite spot. This is the snuggery. And it's just like the most cozy place. Kim's going to turn the fireplace on. Fireplace.
The stuff.
It's great.
Adam, spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, so I spend after I close the shop almost every day. I sit right here and crack open my book and pour myself a glass of wine because we also have this amazing wine selection from our local vineyards. So,
Love.
yeah, and like some little snacks, really great shorties, crackers and cookies and mushroom growing kits and some more like mead and cider and ready to drink cocktails. So we're just having a blast. We're having a really
Yeah.
good time.
I know. Did you sit in that corner a lot too while you were there?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I spent as much time in the store as I could manage with all the other adventures I was going on, but it is truly so cozy, and I love that you have a good self-care regiment, Rachel, in terms of closing down for the day and treating yourself, because it's hard to be a business owner. I mean,
Oh gosh, yeah.
from what from what I've heard and what you've shared, this is a big deal. This is a big life change for both of you, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
I I still have my other mostly full-time job, which is working for a local ceramic artist. So I split my time between when I work for him between the gallery and the studio. So gallery is just mostly talking to customers and selling, and the studio is helping with all the production work that goes into making the pieces. Um, so yeah, and
She's
then
really good at it.
oh well,
She's very good.
thanks. And then trying to, in the time that I have, produce some artwork that sells here, and then a couple days a week I'm here. So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a lot. It's great.
It's definitely a lot. Yeah, so I was working in corporate America for the last like year and a half ish. And before that, I spent 10 years as a paramedic and a firefighter.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it truly is my passion to help people, and it was an amazing experience, really, truly. I thought and planned to retire out of that profession. So when I got injured for the first time in 2017, I think it was 2017. Um, Took me a few months to recover from that, and I got back on the bus to work. And then in February of 24, 23,
Yeah, great.
23.
Yeah.
um, I hurt myself again, and it ended my career as a
Mm.
paramedic and a firefighter, which was very heartbreaking and really kind of like shifted my whole world.
Mm.
Um, and I had no clue what to do. I was like, I don't know who I am outside of this profession. I don't know how to give back. I don't know how to make the change that I feel like needs to be made in this world. Like I always want to be that positive light. And I was able to do that on people's like truly like their worst days.
Mm.
And I was like, how do I even how do I go from quite literally bringing people back from the dead to not doing that ever again? Um and it was really hard for a while there, but I got into a really great company. Uh, I did some consulting work for a while and am still doing some EMS consulting work, which is great. Very on the side stuff, but still get to be in that world. And then I worked in software, fire and EMS software for a while. And I really liked being able to be connected to that world, but the corporate life is not for me.
Mm.
It's not at all. It's not. I don't have fun. No, no.
Kelly and I are
I
laughing because we know.
Yeah, yeah. I think it serves its purpose. Like it's an
I think
essential.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an essential part of operating in the world and in America especially.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but when I called Kim, when I called Kim on one snowy February morning and I said, "Hey, you remember how I talked about always wanting to open a bookstore?" Because I had tried in North Carolina, which is where I was working as a paramedic during my last stretch on the road. I had bought a bus and I tried to open a mobile bookstore. that didn't work out because I severely injured myself and basically had to relearn how to walk. It was a real good time.
Yeah.
So when I called Kim, I said, "Hey, remember how I really want to open a bookstore?" And she was like, "Yes."
Yeah, I was over in Wisconsin at the time, helping my mom with some stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I was like, "Well, here's the thing. I found a space." And she was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And when I first walked in this building, I knew immediately. The first thing I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is where the folded leaf is gonna live. This is home. It's here." But I also walked in the building. I was like, "Oh my god, there's so much work to do." Oh no. Um, so I looked at the space.
not so much with what had to be done particularly to the space.
Yeah.
Just
Like
to make it into a store
in
is going to
general.
be so much work.
Yeah. So if we look at our timeline here, I called Kim. I think it was quite literally the last week of February or like the last 10 days of February
Yeah.
of this year.
Yeah.
Let me just be clear. This year. And immediately I threw together a business plan, and then we got together and I was like, "Let's do this. Do you want to do this?" And she was like, "You're insane, but sure, we can give it a go."
She's going along with the insane person, so
Yeah.
That's why we're balanced.
Yes,
Yeah.
very balanced. Very, because I'm the person who's like, "Let's do the thing," and she's like, "How?"
Yeah.
Like, "I don't know. Let's just do it."
What's the plan? Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
And we have.
we have figured it out. There's been a lot of, how are we going to do this? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Where was I? Okay. So we got together, we built a business plan that was very rudimentary.
Preliminary.
Very, yeah. But we presented that to the building owners. And on March 2nd, so less than 2 weeks later, I signed a lease. And that
opened by
then we
April
opened
26th.
we opened 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
Amazing.
seriously,
You
and
just
I want
In.
to add some context for people who might not be familiar with northern Michigan. So if you look at the MIT, northern Michigan would be like from the fingers up. There's less than 1 million people in the entire northern part of Michigan, and then where these folks are, they're way over here. They're off the beaten path. The city of Cedar is like a road that has
it's a village.
a gas station, grocery store, a cafe, an ice cream shop, a tavern, and like a Polish heritage center, and that's it. So these folks, these ladies, saw a vision and was like, "We can do this here. We can be profitable in this small strip of civilization."
we were like, we're probably not going to make any money, and
we have yet to experience a winter being open.
Yes,
so
this will be our first winter, so we're like, oh god, because this is a really big tourist area.
Very seasonal. Yeah.
So our first summer was phenomenal. I mean, I don't even know. Sometimes I just sit here and I go, is this real? But then it is. Then it is.
Then it very much is.
Then it very much is, especially when the rent is due.
My friend Peter said, "This story is making me smile very hard. The joy vibes are powerful."
Yay!
Oh, he also mentioned that he is redesigning his office with snug in mind, and he appreciates that you're using that term. You're making it a thing because not many people use it.
Yeah.
That was this one's whole.
Yeah, I came across the word snuggery in a series I was reading that took place in Victorian England, and they retired to their snuggery at night, which is just a cozy place for people to be together. And
Sounds magical.
Honestly, at first I was like, no. Like, no one to know what a snuggery is. And no one does.
but you have to know what it is when the word itself is just so like a
Cozy.
warm blanket.
Yeah, it took
like
me
snuggery.
It took me a while.
Be snuggled up in the snuggery.
Yeah, it took me a while. It took me a couple weeks.
I know it did.
Where I was like, okay, are you sure this is the word we want to go with?
I didn't know the word,
and she
but
was
when
like,
I walked in,
Yeah.
that was what I felt. Like them, but the thing that I felt was that word. I just didn't know the word for it. So you're bringing it back. You're showing. You're not telling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My gut instinct while you all are talking about the winter coming up is that because you have the snuggery, people are going to want to go there and get warm and cozy and have a third place to be able to go to. So
That isn't their home, that they're locked in all the
Yeah.
time.
you're going to be fine this winter.
Yeah, we're coming up with some really fun creative stuff for winter. Because this one thing that's really jumped out and made itself so prominent and known to us specifically, like what we have realized is that this place has become so much more than a bookstore. It is truly a community hub and a safe place. And one of my goals for this business and this space was, because this is my hometown. Let me just go back. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. It was not the welcoming place it is now. I'll just go with that. It's very conservative. Okay. It still mostly is.
Yeah.
But I never felt like I had anywhere to be myself. So what I told myself, the whole reason behind, like, this is my why, is I wanted to create a space where that I needed as a kid. And every single time a kid walks through this door, or a preteen or a teenager comes in and they pick up a Stephen King novel, or they go over to the poetry section and they pick up a Robert Frost, or they anything really. They pick up any book. Anything. Because what that is an expression of who they are. They have no qualms or no fear to pick that up in here. And we don't expect them to buy anything. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, you can just come and sit in here, pick up a book and read
Yeah.
however long you want and put it back on the shelf. And
it's like the whole concept of a third space being a business as well. I think for me, and I think for both of us, we never got into this thinking we were going to make money. Like, it's a bookstore, okay, in a town with one blinking red stoplight. Like, yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. That's a horrible idea.
But look at you now.
But it's become this true third space where people just go. And we have, what's really fun is we have this book, this right here, and it sits on our coffee table or whatever, and it's full of little notes from people who have been in here. This one has a cute little drawing. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh.
But like, I think one of my favorites, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I will. It's from a couple of weeks ago. Yes, this one. Sawyer, on June 10th, 2025, he spent a good 20 minutes sitting right here, writing us a note in cursive. And he tried so hard. And it says, I had a lot of fun and I loved it. And it was the best day ever. So, I don't know if you can see Sawyer's little
Yes.
note there, but he tried so hard, and we love looking through these. I mean, our first day open, we had several pages full of notes, and we sat by the fireplace at the end of the day with a bottle of wine. And we read through them out loud to each other. We just like took turns.
Marveled in the impossibility of what we had just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's truly incredible and very inspiring that people are out there who are craving this community to the extent where they're willing to put their time and effort and livelihood into that business of creating a space where people feel comfortable. They can regulate their nervous system in a very chaotic world. They can get away a little bit. They can find other people. And then you all have this amazing advantage of being so close to Interlochen, which is an amazing music school. And I know from being there that you and seeing your lives, your Facebook lives, you're getting some great talent in there in terms of the music performances. Tell us a little bit about how that's been.
Unreal.
How?
We're so lucky and so grateful. Yeah.
It's been magical.
It's hard.
It
doesn't really fully make sense.
No.
It's just
Yeah, I don't every single time that we have artists on this stage, it is the most intentional music experience that I think I will ever and have ever had.
because it's such an intimate space.
Yeah.
And so many of the artists that perform like aren't used to playing in this type of way. And we can only be acoustic, so amps and stuff aren't allowed. And for so many of these artists, like it's been a long time since they've been able to perform that way, and they really enjoy it.
They love
it. Feel like they're more connected to the audience.
Yeah, it's very much a conversation, a musical conversation between the artist and the audience. And I mean, the best word that I can use to describe how it has been is so intentional. Like, really just intentional listening. And we get that comment from the artists a lot where they're like, man, it's been so long since I performed and people just listened. And they weren't distracted by their phone, or they're, at a bar and they're doing, I mean, we have tasting here, like wine and beer tasting, but it's not the whole point.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you go to a winery or a brewery and there's a musician playing, it's most of the time it's background noise.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. Yeah. And I love that you have this duality of acoustic music it's just a very unplugged kind of circumstance, because you have books. Everything is intentional because people have to sit down and actually be with the books and digest what they're reading. It's the same thing with the music programming that you have. So it's so beautiful. I'm feeling like hormonal this week, and I've been almost tearing up through all of the passion. And I feel like everyone else here watching feels the same, because you just have so much passion, and it's so beautiful and so refreshing.
It's definitely personally my dream come true in every way. So there are days where I just walk in and I honestly just start crying.
Yeah.
Cuz I never, like, you always think like, someday I'm going to live my dream or whatever. But then
someday,
someday,
what does that mean?
And then sometimes it happens and you're like, what the friend?
What did you do?
You can drop the F-bomb if you want, because I mean, it feels
don't say that, because it's literally my favorite word, and I we'll be dropping bombs all over the place up in here.
Substack is very free speech oriented, so yeah, say what you want.
Awesome.
So y'all have done so much in such short amount of time, and some that has to come from vision. You had an initial vision. I'm curious about the continued vision. Do you have aspirations that you're looking to realize? And it seems like you do it at warp speed, but no rush, but just like what
Well,
dream vision?
I'll just say, I mean, this started off, the vision originally starting off was, oh, this is going to be a cozy, quiet bookstore. Art, local art and books. That was the original idea, and it's already morphed into so much more, which is incredible. So yeah, I don't know exactly where we're going to be a year from now.
I have no
but
idea.
But yeah, definitely we want to start having movie nights and workshops, and we'll continue music. And I know you have some ideas about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I okay. Here's I have too many ideas. And I need several more lifetimes. However, um, in this space, I would love to eventually, um, do a branch or an offshoot or a sprout, if you will, um, and make part of it a nonprofit.
Mm.
And specifically, I want to make it a literary focus for at-risk youth. And if you think of Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is a great organization and you should support everyone who's watching. So they pair a fully functional or functional adult with a kid.
Functional we can
Yeah.
be.
With a kid to kind of mentor them or be a big brother or a big sister. But what I want to do is I want to take that model and I want a high schooler to pair with a middle or elementary schooler. And I want them to basically have their own little book club and pick a book together, a chapter book that is either on the banned book list or a classic or something that they aren't necessarily already exposed to in this very modern society, that really has a deep meaning to it. And I want them to experience that together
Yeah.
and then to really talk about what it meant to them or how they interpreted it and take that experience of reading a powerful story and then apply it to their life and see how they can grow and just blossom.
Mm.
And I know for me, that's what they do to me. I learn something from every single book I read, even if it's, um, you know, for me, even if it's like one of those smutty books about fairies and dragons and shit. I learned something, okay. Whether it's about myself or somebody else, I learned something. But
And even if it's not a pure learning experience exactly, you still, you take away something from every book that you read.
yeah,
And you get to experience, I think, a different life, a different. I mean, in so many books that I read, I feel like I can kind of like insert myself in the story and try to picture how that would feel and what I would do and how.
yeah. And I think
Books are a great way to build empathy, to your point, because the way the brain works when we read or watch something, we interpret it as if we are doing it. Like it's hard to distinguish reality and fiction, which is why technology and AI is really hard for us to grok right now. But it is a great way to build empathy. And when you're pairing, like school age kids together, they're building that empathy and community there. I love that
Yeah.
melting pot of the empathy plus the community building.
yeah, I really I want kids to pick up something physical, tangible.
Yes.
That they can actually touch and feel and it evokes an emotion outside of technology. Like when the power goes out, I don't want them to grab for, a battery bank and a cord. I want them to grab for a flashlight or a candle and a book.
Yep.
And it's not like, I don't mean that to say, kids these days or whatever. Like, that's not it.
It's society these days.
Society these days,
not,
and expectations that everything is immediate. But when you physically read, it is only at the speed of you.
Yes.
Only you. And when you do it with another person, when you read with another person, especially someone younger than you or older than you, you have to find a common ground.
Yeah.
And that is not something that this society necessarily nourishes and promotes right now.
Yeah.
There is no common ground. It's I'm right or you're right, and there is no middle.
Yes.
And that is so damaging.
Yep.
I feel. And by having something that is tangible, that they can hold, that they can share, that has a meaning, that has a lesson, but also as, just two people who are trying to get through life. What's more important than that?
Yeah. And you're promoting slowing down too, which is something that desperately, because we are programmed now to always be striving and always be moving on to the next thing and speeding up. And Adam and I talked about this last week on our live. Our bodies and minds are not meant to handle the speed at which we're expected to move. So,
or even just gather information.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just on a daily basis now.
It's unreal.
Yeah. And I'm really sick of feeling like shit if I'm not productive all day, every day.
Yeah. Throw that out the window. That is unfair to ourselves.
I've been struggling with that a lot lately, recently, and so that resonates a lot. I have like a stack of all these books right now, and I'm like, I just need to sit down in the corner and start reading them. So, what book are you all reading right now, by the way?
Okay, so I have that's a good question. I have the horrible habit of reading like 4 or 5 books at once.
I thought that was just me.
No.
Thank God I'm not alone.
Yeah. No, I'm reading several right now, and they're all good.
Yeah. I think I'm partway through Wuthering Heights. I'm partway through Service Berry, and I'm mostly focusing on though is Accomplice to the Villain.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I feel like people who read multiple books at once, it's not ever like the same genre of books.
Plus audiobooks.
Oh yes, and audiobooks. Yeah, I'm doing
an audiobook in the mix.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with being a bookstore, but not just a bookstore, but a used bookstore where the community is donating books. Like every single day that we are open, and sometimes on days we're not open, we get donations. And going through those donations,
the difficult part is not
so difficult.
It's like candy.
One for me, one for the store.
Yeah, seriously, it's very much like that. Where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna take this home and read it, and then I can just put it back on the shelf. It's like
with
my personal library with all the spare time, which there is none of. But okay, so what am I reading right now? What the French toast am I reading?
Did you start the shop one?
Yeah. I'm reading Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. And that is actually the book we're reading right now for Queer Book Club. So super fun. I am going to be starting Grapes of Wrath soon because that is another book that we're doing for our brand new book club.
Very relevant and timely.
Yeah. Our brand new book club is called
Pages and Pours.
Pages and Pours. So it's actually a wine and book Class.
So we're going to be picking out a wine that we feel pairs nicely with the story.
Yes.
Yes.
Very cool.
I'm coming to Michigan.
All the way back to LA, right? You know, just a little out of the way.
Go up and around. Yeah.
Worth it.
Really.
Worth it. But yeah, if you want to know more about that, you can always hop on our website. And I'm sure the link will be somewhere.
Yeah. Are you able to write a message? Peter says, "Come by and grab me." Type a message in there and just. I'll do another. I'll do another post, and I'm sure Adam will too, and we'll just put some.
All the links.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is hard. Okay, leaf. Okay,
You don't.
I'm trying to.
You don't have to.
That's like my concentration face. It's like
That's okay.
While you're concentrating, I wanted to just mention to go back a little bit about slowing down. I feel like our generation has this amazing opportunity because we were present at the before times before the speeding up really happened, and we know how great it is, and it's in our mind maps, and we can teach younger generations how to do the analog and get out of this really toxic cycle that technology has pulled us into. I don't necessarily think nefariously, but it's just like our brains have a hard time saying no to like the new shiny thing, but sometimes we need to say no.
Yeah. You and I talked about that quite a bit last time, and it's so challenging to do that. But there are a lot of Gen Zers who are really interested in analog. Like from what I've heard, there's this reevaluation or this like awareness of something I'm feeling isn't quite right, but I don't know what it is. But I feel like it probably has something to do with social media, being connected all the time, but also feeling very disconnected at the same time. So,
yeah.
and that's why third places are so important.
Especially if there are places like this that
Yeah.
is snuggly and warm and slow with good vibes and good music. You
Inclusive.
all have, yeah, you've hit so many different areas that are so needed right now. And I personally want to thank you for putting all the time and effort, and how fast you've done it just continues to blow my mind because I think I'm inspired, and I hope other people are inspired to say it's possible. I think we're all have this ability to put ourselves in an invisible cage to say, oh, I can't do that. I can't follow my passion because, or like, no one does it that way. Hey, all bets are off in 2025. I feel like anything is possible.
Yeah, I think a lot, and I think that goes a lot with, I feel like I say this a lot when we talk about this subject, but this country specifically is so focused on, the next thing that you're supposed to do, or like being more, or, climbing the ladder, producing, always producing,
Yeah.
and never enjoying where you are.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just stop.
Yeah.
And I'm so guilty of that. I mean, I had a blog for a while called The Next Best Thing. So, yeah, no.
Let me make the distinction real quick between producing and creating, because I feel like
Yeah.
what you all are doing is creating. You're making something, intentionally and with thought, and producing is like, it's not that. You're like producing something, but it's not in that creative style. It's producing maybe something for someone else, or producing information, or it's just different. I don't know if you have thoughts on the difference between producing and creating.
Because
The
talk about
artist, we
that
should ask
later.
the artist here.
Well, I feel like every artist, you kind of have both. There are some things that you have to just produce as an artist to put food on the table. You know what I mean? Like there are a number of things that I'm not, it's not like, oh yeah, every single thing I do, I'm super happy about, I'm super passionate about. Like sometimes you have to make things because they sell, not because it's creatively fulfilling necessarily or makes you happy, but it's a balance. It's a balance between producing and creating. And unfortunately, sometimes producing has to come in to the creating.
Yeah.
But
back. I'm gonna grab the book I'm reading.
Yeah.
so,
I can echo that too. I've been in the photography industry for a very long time, and it's the same. I think all of us are probably creative people here, but um, there's something about creating projects for yourself simply to do it without worrying about what the outcome is going to be.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so fulfilling and so important to just go through the creative process for yourself. But then you have to follow someone else's direction and make the money as well. And so it's about finding that balance.
Yep.
I don't know. So this is one of the books I'm reading right now. Oh God, it's really.
Night and
Let me just Nightfall in the Garden of Deep Time.
okay.
And the reason I brought this book to your attention is it's one, it's a great book and you should read it. Two, the whole premise of this book is when you create, it is a gift. You are giving of yourself. When you produce, you are it's not a gift.
Mhm.
You're not necessarily giving of yourself. You are producing to produce. But create, you create to inspire, or you create to feel joy, or you create to give a gift.
Yeah.
And
I think about
that really is the difference. I think, especially from reading this book, which I haven't finished yet, and I'm real close and very like in it right now. But it's just so interesting to me that there are so many creatives out there who take their passion, and because of the society we're living in, instead of creating, they just produce
mm,
because that's what they feel like they have to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when
and
you take a step back and you look at yourself and what you are truly trying to do, the best way to produce is to create.
Hmm.
I love that you came full circle on that because and I love that you have a book that's relevant to this conversation because that's it, right? Like I create stuff for my community happiness project that's like interactive art and I do it with this intention to bring people joy and positivity or relief or something that is going to enrich their lives and I don't do that to produce to keep people coming. I do that because the people that come I just want them to have a really good experience. And I think that's the magical part of creating is you're doing it for reasons that aren't motivated by profit or attention or prestige. It's just creating. I got to go to the Van Gogh immersive exhibit this weekend and everybody knows about Van Gogh, but I didn't know as deeply as I know now. The man produced 900 paintings
Wow.
within about the last 10 years of his life and he died at 37.
Wow.
And that was roughly one painting per every 37 hours, which is an incredible drive to create. Like this human was a nobody in his time, and we celebrate his just creativity, this gift that he gave the world, these rich colors and the perspective that he was able to share through his work. And I think that we can figure out as a society how to put the focus on creating based on that passion, which then produces, I think, 10 times more value than just producing, than
Yeah.
producing without joy or passion, then we would be in like not necessarily utopia, but pretty darn close.
Pretty close.
Agreed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then also the legacy that he left behind because he put all of that passion into doing this thing that mattered to him. Like we've been talking about him for hundreds of years now. It's so interesting to think about it from that perspective too. And that was not what he set out to do by any means, but that was the outcome.
And I think, he's actually in this book as a character.
Really?
Yeah. And he brings what is it? Nightfall in Paris, or one of his paintings he brings to the table as a gift, and he brings it with such humility. Um like he knows that it may not be the best thing out there, but that's not what
It's not the point.
the point exactly. It's
Yeah.
not the point. The point is
It's a piece of him.
yes.
It's from his soul, his
Yes.
heart, his
Yes.
yeah.
It is so important to create as an outward expression of how much love you have for the world and for yourself.
I think that
Mm.
is so. That's what creativity is. Is like you feel so much inside. There's no other way to exist except put out what you can, because
Yeah.
it's so it can't be contained in here. You have to. It has to.
And you have to give it willingly.
Yeah.
It has to be a willing
Yes.
gift. You know, you can't
Can't be
force
forced.
yourself at all. It's not
This light
possible.
is
I
just
know.
following me.
It is. It's because you are an amazing light.
You're luminous,
You're
but
glowing.
that's exactly what I felt when I walked into your shop. Like there was so much on the inside, it had to come out to the outside. And that is the beauty of engaging artists and artistry and everything that you do. Unfortunately, where I live right now, St. Petersburg, they are defunding the arts. They are painting over murals and they're ripping art out of the hands of people that want to freely give. And it's so disappointing and so disheartening because people in those moments when they're making those choices, they do not understand how valuable that creative spirit is to the enrichment of all of our lives, even people that aren't artistic. But I have also seen the response to that, which is people like, I got chalk and I got time and I'm going to go chalk up the sidewalks. I'm going to paint my own driveway. People are volunteering to paint private property. Like there is a drive and a desire for this. And the more people are showing the way and providing that template, it all adds up. It really does. And you
Absolutely.
all are an important part of that. And I'm so grateful that you're willing to spend the time, the energy, and the stressful nights sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. It can be very stressful, for real. But I'm just gonna go back real quick to something you just said. Is like you said something along the lines of they don't realize what they're taking away, but I think they do. They do realize what they're taking away. Because what we just said, art and creativity is an expression of yourself, and the more that we are allowed and able to express ourselves freely, the more we are able to create our own path and feel more joy and be creative instead of producing.
Mhm.
And the way that society is moving forward, it is so focused on producing. Like let's
So empty.
yes, it's so empty.
Production is so empty.
Let's bring production facilities back to the US. Let's, do all of these things but that's not, we don't need to produce, we need to create. And creation comes from a place of joy and fullness and fulfillment. And that is an intentional snuffing out of the human spirit.
Yeah.
Attempt to snuff out.
And I think it is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to express yourself in ways that you've always wanted to, but felt afraid to.
Mm.
Because express yourself in a way that is healthy and whole and doesn't hurt anyone. And I think, people are so afraid of expression, like through expression, that
Yeah. Peter agrees. Peter has a great take. He says that they're creating brand new canvases by painting over what's there, and
yes.
that's how we got to think about it. We have to adapt and be nimble and create the world that we want to live in. That's been my philosophy for the last few years. And it's been energizing. And when you lean into that creative spirit and the passion, things do tend to come together. And it's a leap of faith. It's truly a leap of faith. Faith in yourself that you have what you need to get you through this, but faith that the universe is going to trust fall catch you when you do, and the people around you will support you in your efforts. And I feel like everybody on this live right now has experienced that trust fall and feel like it's enough to go forward on and to like continue to build on this leap of faith.
That's our entire experience so far.
Yeah.
Is and just feeling like things worked out because the universe wanted this to happen.
Oh, for sure. There's no other explanation for it. Like really, truly. This was meant to be. The folded leaf was meant to open here. It was meant to be a safe space, especially in these current times. And especially in this area where this is so abnormal. And we're just loving, honestly, like when you asked what our plans were, I mean, we've got some ideas, but we will adapt to whatever is needed. And where the universe presents as an opportunity to create more joy, love, and inclusion. That's what the future is for us. Yeah. Whether that is for books or art or music or something else that we haven't even thought of yet. Let's go. Let's do it. Like,
and people are hungry for it. I mean, I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen how excited people are. And I think folks sometimes just wait for that first brave person to do what they have been waiting and wanting. And you're it.
Yeah.
And there'll be more to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. You're paving the way, which is such a wonderful thing to do. And I do to echo what Adam said is once people see that it's possible, then they'll start to follow suit and take the leap of faith too.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone asked me a question in an interview, I don't know, a month or two back. And they asked, what advice do you have for someone who wants to start a business or just do something that is new? And I had two things that I said. The first one was do it scared. Because no amount of preparation will erase the fear. Like this, owning a business, operating a business, creating anything new, putting yourself out there is terrifying, but that does not give you an excuse not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I said was surround yourself with people who not only support you, but elevate you.
That's a mic drop right there.
I think that's a great place to wrap this up because such sage wisdom from this bookkeeper.
Yes. Yeah. This has been so amazing to chat with you all. I'm glad I haven't met you in person yet, but I feel like I know you a little bit through this. And I'm looking forward to one day when I come up and get to sit in the corner by the fire and have a glass of wine with you.
We can't wait. Anytime.
Thank you so much, ladies, for making the time, for doing what you do, for staying fresh and sparkly eyed, and just being the change in the world you want to see. So,
thank you. We appreciate it. We love what you guys are doing. Keep it up, and we will always be cheering you on, spreading joy, spreading happiness, and making people realize that life is fucking awesome.
Right? Yes. Maintain. Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Have a good week.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Bye.
Bye.